Hi, I'm Matt. This is Desiree.
Hello, guys.
We are here on Monday, January 16th, 2017. And we are going to first quickly put on something from the lab class. So we talked about this whip. We get through till count 6, 5, 6. From here, it's kind of like a rock and go. I'm creating that tension backwards to have that boing feeling. As we go through, this is 7, boing, and cross in front, 8. All the way through quickly. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, moving on to the intermediate class. We were talking all about how to make your West Coast swing more gradual and smooth. So, we talked initially about how if I asked you to take a can of beans from the top shelf and put it on the counter, you could just do that action. Just reach up, take the can, put it on the counter. You could do it slower, take the can, put it on the counter, or faster, take the can, put it on the counter. If I ask you to do it slower, however, what you don't do is reach up to the can very quickly, and then wait there, and then put the can on the counter and wait there. Right? That's accomplished the same amount of time, but it's not the same amount of continuous movement. I want to move my hand slowly throughout, take the can, and put it on the counter. This is what we're going for in your dancing, and what I tend to see when you try to go very slowly is that you kind of take the can very quickly and put it on the counter. So you dance 1, 2, and then end up waiting a lot of times without having continuous movement throughout. So we had you walk in a circle. We'll just walk in a line for right now, so it doesn't take a lot of space, but just pretend you're walking down the street. You go wherever you'd like to go around your house, and then if I just ask you to slow it down, you can. You very naturally start using more muscles in your feet and your legs to go slower. You go even slower than that if you wanted to.
I actually talked in the beginner class about how if this wasn't a challenge for you, slow it down further. Slow it down to the point where you feel like you have to engage in your balance. And that's when you'll get to the point where you will actually increase your balance and your ability to do measured movements.
Yep, we talked about the same thing going backwards. So you can walk backwards kind of quickly. We're in a circle, and then I can ask you to go even slower,
Pressing through those feet, like we talked about in the beginner lesson.
It's similar to if you're at the gym. If you want to do an exercise really slowly, that takes a lot more muscle control, and it works your muscles a lot more than just kind of doing the exercise really quickly and frantically. Same principle applies to while you're dancing. You could all do this as an activity by itself, but when you start getting connected, especially to a partner, suddenly all the walking that you already know how to do goes out the window. So we did some exercises. We started out initially by ourselves and just practice dancing some patterns, and eventually we partnered up and danced some patterns, but really focusing on rolling through our feet. Produce slow and gradual movement. We then talked about how there's kind of 2 important aspects to rolling through your feet. We've already talked about the continuity, so I want to be rolling continuously. The
Not
second
just
aspect,
slapping your feet down.
yeah, the second aspect is articulation. If I lift my foot further off the ground and articulate it as I'm stepping down, that gives me more to do. I use more time doing that than I do just stepping kind of flat-footed. So we're going to really think about peeling my foot up, pressing it down, peeling it up, pressing it down. So we practiced that a bit with some music, and then we talked about how I don't only want to use my feet to be gradual, I also want to use my upper body. So we imagined the entire room was filled with caramel. We had to walk through this caramel. It really engages the muscles in your core, your abs, your chest, your back, all the muscles that help you stand and have good posture. Now we applied that to our West Coast swing without the arms, right? We're not flailing our arms while we dance, but I want to have that same movement in my upper body. Same gradual movement, filling out every beat with my upper body. We talked a little bit about a pattern. So the left side inside turn. And I'll really think about having that caramel feeling throughout the spin, keeping it all gradual and measured. We talked about a variation you could do, where you add 2 beats to the middle of the spin. Instead of being a 6-count pattern, it becomes an 8-count pattern. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, 7, and 8. That could be a variation that you might do for musicality. If I want to hit something that's drawn out in the song. It's a very short segment of halftime, where essentially I step, instead of 1 step per 1 beat of music, I allow 2 beats of music to go by per step. I can halftime any part of any pattern that I want to hit the music. We use the song Stay With Me by Sam Smith. That has a whole section where it really just goes into halftime. So we didn't talk a whole lot about that today. If you kind of understand the concept, you can go home and practice that. If not, you have this turn you can use as a practice tool.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming. Hope you enjoyed the lesson, and we will see you next week.
Yep, absolutely. We're going to do a social dance.